The 5 best Tom Hanks films ranked. What comes in your mind when you hear about Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks is a rare actor. His charisma has earned him a longtime favorite of audiences. His work spans genres, and he seldom creates a terrible film. Hanks has worked with some of the best directors and always reveals real, likable, and true performances. Nevertheless, many people who have met Hanks say he is a truly kind guy with a good heart. Hanks has been nominated for 6 Oscars throughout his career, winning 2 for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. Hello everyone and welcome to another video on our channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing the 5 best Tom Hanks films ranked. Yeah, you heard it right. So let's get started with our video. Let's briefly talk about him before we jump into the video. Tom Hanks has always loved acting. He dropped out of college to pursue an acting career in New York City. While working in theater, Hanks made his film debut in He Knows You're Alone. From then, he had cameo appearances on Happy Days and Growing Pains before landing his big break in Splash in 1984. Since then, Hanks has established himself as an actor, director, and producer in Hollywood. Hanks has a busy schedule ahead. Now let's check his top 5 best movies of all time. Number 1. Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the Toy Story films, Hank's pure essence is condensed for his brilliant voice work as Woody. Andy's favorite toy is a pull-string cowboy, but Tim Allen's voice as the astronaut Buzz Lightyear threatens to usurp it in Andy's affections, much as the same westerns were usurped in America's affections by space race-inspired sci-fi. One of the most wonderful and heart-trending casting decisions of Hank's career. Hank's voice work in both movies is a treat to listen to. When his old toy friends encouraged him to enjoy becoming the prized treasures of adult collectors rather than the beloved favorite of fickle children, it puts him under strain as an actor in a manner that few of his earlier films have. Notably, in Toy Story 2, children will only break your heart. This is something special. Number 2. Forrest Gump, 1994. Look at the massive impact Forrest Gump had on Tom Hanks' career and on Hollywood in the 1990s, and feel dejected, powerful arbiters of taste. Even if you're not in the state of despair, you have to admit that Hanks' immense star power made this folksy fable. What exactly? A young man with learning difficulties and a low IQ grows up in the 1950s, but his inherent innocence, niceness, and good fortune propel him to greatness, culminating in a college football career, distinguished service in Vietnam, mastery of table tennis, a thriving shrimp fishing business, and finally, brilliance. Robert Zemeckis, the second best Hanks director after Marshall and Spielberg, shot the Zelig-esque or John Irving-esque story. It's all in the gay and halting voice. He was to modify it a little bit, arguably, for his performance in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Bill Clinton directed Forrest Gump, but Reagan is all in Forrest Gump, the uncomplicated patriot who comes out on top. Number 3. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, 2019. On the verge of his retirement, Tom Hanks has a late-period masterpiece in this film about Fred Rogers, the late 90s incarnation of U.S. children's television host Fred Rogers. In any case, he can make a lasting impression on an interviewer role played by Matthew Rice, a cynical magazine journalist. Hanks delivers an incredibly nuanced and difficult-to-understand portrayal here, emulating the actual Rogers' odd physical and verbal quirks in a way that contrasts sharply with the aw-shucks persona most people have of him. Even more incredible is when he requests for one solid full minute of silence from Rice over lunch so that the two of them may think about the people who are important to them. Number 4. Big, 1988. They featured Tom Hanks in his breakout performance that truly placed him on the map. This fantasy comedy, directed by Penny Marshall and written by Gary Ross and Ann Spielberg. Anyone who has ever felt like an imposter, improbable as an adult, or just plain perplexed as a child may identify with this position. Hanks plays Josh Baskin, a little child who wishes he were bigger and wishes he could break the laws. Only Tom Hanks could convincingly portray an adult with a mature presence who is also someone with a child's innocence and playfulness in their hearts. Now imagine Tom Cruise performing it, and you'll see how fast it might turn into a terrifying film. The big toy piano scene, with Hanks joyfully dancing on the keys, is the best example of this. Number 5. Saving Private Ryan, 1998. It's another excellent Spielberg-Hanks coupling, with Hanks responding to the task of a huge movie on a large topic. His platoon's mission is to find Private Ryan on the battlefield and bring him home on humanitarian grounds, because all of his brothers had perished in action during World War II. Miller is more concerned with civic principles than macho heroism than many military commanders. He's a teacher in the civilian world, not a professional soldier. He also needs to hide the fact that he has a hand tremor. This is the contradiction of Tom Hanks' genuine Hollywood star quality coupled with self-effacement, which is perfect for a war drama when you're distracted from the performance by the massive consequences. Well, that's all for today's video. Tell us in the comment section what you thought of this video and which one is your favorite Tom Hanks movie. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing and don't forget to give comments and provide us with your valuable feedback. We'll see you in the next video with some more amazing celebrities, facts, and stories. And until then, stay tuned.